talk loud. I've lost my voice, so bear with me, and I'm not very well. I'm in a lot of shock. Okay, I have found 10 years worth of abuse by the state in UK, and 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. Then my personal friends took over my personal care at the end of 2014, and it stopped until I had a major health and disrepair all last year. My health seriously deteriorated with my own. I was going through old phones, got a lot of old analogue phones to recycle. Shock yesterday and today when I've hidden, obviously, personal data of individuals. And the reason why I'm blocked to services now, the way they're doing it now in 2018, United Kingdom, my area especially, is because I'm targeted individual of evidence I have of phone calls, text messages, videos, photographs of the injuries, who caused the injuries, who, you see, unless you go through a CEO of a man or woman of the company, public funded, state funded, or their lawyers, whatever, what's happening now, it's like 360 turnaround where they're doing it all over again to keep me traumatized. The system is meant to have changed to better, but I don't think it is. I know more now than I did years ago. But I found an old video of my late mum, excuse me, when I was able-bodied with my son, and that was quite a shock. It was pleasantly to find that, and it's amazing when you use the modern technology and you're trying to recycle things, and the idea is trying to recycle things in one's rented home, so there's less to worry about. At the moment, I'm still in shock for what I found in the contents of texts, who had done what, how, and I can't state who they were. At the moment, my private life friends who are doing their care for me, trying to figure out how we can get this data of this analog type phone onto some kind of another drive or data to save on a drive data as evidence. I don't know what the statutory timeline is to bring a high court action for everyone involved. I can't go to the statutory services, the police, anything like that, because they just close ranks. But I have the evidence, the hard evidence. And all these years I put everything in writing, dates, times, journals, everything, who did what, how it happened, where it happened, who was harming me, physically, verbally, neglect, abuse to me by state paid employees. I never, ever, ever thought I'd find this information. I wasn't searching for it. I honestly believe that my mum's spirit energy was around me to guide me, because I've been threatened to be homeless again in a wheelchair as a disabled woman in the UK. And the threat is so severe and horrendous: bullying, intimidation by public servants as well in their job role. And how can they get away with this to vulnerable people, disabled people, again? So I don't want to drag up old history. It's not my intention. My intention has always been trying to move forward. I'm in shock. I've always made it clear the reason why I do not consent to any temporary replacement or like temporary home or temporary, whatever they call temporary in the new system UK now, where I was before. While I was in this temporary placement in 2012, I had a platonic male friend I knew for a long time, and he turned out to be very nasty and did something to me, and I won't make public, in my own home. Police didn't. They searched my home and got the evidence and DNA and everything, and they didn't charge him. He pinned me to my wheelchair in my own home, somebody I thought I could trust. That's why I don't get close to anyone. It's constant re-traumatisation that's going on. And yet they keep saying I'm making it all up. Or I have got the evidence. 13th of the 10th, 2018. I did not expect to be shocked, re-traumatised again by finding this evidence by chance. I am, and I'll go public with it. The evidence I found is horrendous, and it's a warning to everyone out there that's trying to access public services in UK. What I have got on my old 2 analog phones is the solid evidence. I've been on Facebook, I've made a video, I made it public. Oh, hi, babe. Who shoved you? Hi, Princess Warrior. Okay. You know the old-fashioned phones? Wait there a minute, see if I can get them. Okay. About to say you would not ever believe this. That is an old analog phone. This is my old other phone, and on this one I've got the video evidence. Yeah, they're shoving me, yeah. So, because of data protection law in UK, I've got the photos and video evidence of harm, abuse, images, of burns to my body when I was hoisted into a bath of hot water of this temporary care placement. I've always been trying to search for this evidence, and I've got it. And these photos on this old phone. I've got the dates and timestamps when it happened. Okay, 15th of the 6th, 2012. This is the time period when I was based at this so-called care placement in my area, UK. Unlawfully placed, and burns to my body of hot water, red burnt skin. And on video clips, I've got recording as well. I have video clips dating back to 2008 of who started all this and what was behind all this. And I can't believe it's 10 years worth. 10 years. And I'm just going to the 2008 video clip to start with, and how all this started. And it's involved in my area. It's known as a Canna Council. It's a public body, government fund, in statute law, and I did have my previous evidence upheld, and that took a long time to come through a government ombudsman service, and my evidence was upheld then. I have currently found the evidence I've been trying to find for a long time. I knew I had the paperwork and I needed the video and photograph evidence, which I've got now. to go back to this, what it's called now, Adult Social Care Ombudsman Service. I've got the video, all the video evidence, voice recording evidence, photograph evidence of what's happened to me, okay, on this old phone. And when I got displaced, we're going to send some healing. Thank you, Princess Warren. Sorry, I can read your comment. How are you, by the way? Some healing like your weight, I know, puts their hands on my people. Thank you, Princess Warrior. Thank you. God bless you. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Absolutely. Thank you. This happened also. Mad now. Yeah. I'm in shock. I'm re-traumatized by seeing this evidence, and then also this Texas. I can't put into words how I found this today. There is 35, there's 28 inbox messages. There are 35 sent messages of all evidence on this old phone. This is evidence of what has been, who was involved. I've still got the mobile numbers and the names, and what happened, and who the carers were, what happened with them. I can't share their information with data protection, but I've got all the evidence of the dates, what was said, and my late mum's messages since she's passed away, and all these dates when I was displaced in that care placement in my area, 17th of June 2012. I've got all the timestamps on these texts, and who stole my 2 cats, who wouldn't give them back, and got the texts, evidence of what happened there. Claiming to be my friend at the time, and she'd look after my home while I was displaced in these care placements because the care company went bust, and these social workers kept saying, oh, we can't find your choice of care company to replace, you need to do this, you need to do that, and I didn't know what my rights were then. I do now. Trouble is, what's happened the past days, I offered to move out. Why I found this, because we're trying to declutter and recycle old phones and old things I don't need anymore, okay? And I just got a new phone, and they said, this company, this shop I went, said that he could buy these old phones off me, and it just get rid of another great big bag of chargers and old phones. So my friend helped me go through all this yesterday to make sure there's no data on these phones or things, and you know, you can clear it off. And all the old analog phones, you can do that quite easily. But I was shocked to find I still had these old messages and evidence, and it clearly states everything I've been saying to these public servants again recently, the past months, why I don't consent to Olympics Care Service Limited employees, anyone ever is involved before anywhere near me, because of the personal harm in their previous location of a building and then in my own. And then all the previous public servants I dealt with, they could be a management level now in a different higher position, but still work with the Public County Council. Okay, I have a text proof of 15th of the 5th, that's May, that's when it started, 2012. When a choice of my replacement of a care company that went bust, that's what started it. And I found out in the media ages after that care company, the management, well, there was a death of an elderly couple of people in their care home, and it was a full police investigation, and everything they had to close. Everybody had a care plan with that former care company. Masada Care Limited has now folded as a company. The CEO, board of directors are folded because of risk to people in their own homes as well by their management and their carers, and they were found negligent, and I don't know what happened in the end. I can't remember that far back, but then there was a rush to find people who had complex needs, new company, but you can't get that organised straight away, and I was led to believe there was no choice but to go in a respite place, but there was an emergency. They were panicking and trying to find me somewhere, and they claimed it would be in a proper care home. Well, it wasn't. In emergency basis, you end up wherever there's a room in a care home or a respite home or whatever it might be, and you don't know where you're going to be. And that's what's going to happen next week again. So I now know of a company that I'd like to go with, but I'm going through all these years on in United Kingdom, it's changed how they're meant to help people. Statute Law, Care Act 2014, and the processes I thought I was going through for these months since I ended up in hospital in a serious state last year, and nothing was happening basically all these recent weeks. I offered, with my friends' help, because my private friends are taken over, as I said, since end of 2014, and everything's been absolutely wonderful, absolutely peaceful, absolutely so better health I've been in years. Well, I might not be able to walk, but at least it's been really peaceful spiritually as well. And until I had the housing disrepair, that's what's caused my downfall. The housing company, Home Group Limited in UK, head office, CEO, board directors, lawyers, you name it, it's all been served for notice, opportunity to share without dishonour, to seek a remedy, to find me somewhere safe. You know, get the repairs done or put me in a temporary hotel, and they refused. Everything, all the emails, documents of last year and up to this year, and stage 2 in housing UK system, the way that works, social housing. My friends helped, we found a hotel around the corner that has a level access shower room and big enough room for me, the medical equipment, the care needs. So all the email was Monday, just gone this week, was to say to the housing side to offer to fund that as a temporary location while they can do the works logically, repair works, and then provide the full disclosure, what works, how that's going to be done, without offer before in my home a private meeting. Well, not private, but one of their meetings, because that's what started it off in 2012. Well, before that, but ever since all these texts and emails and video evidence and photos on the other phone I've got, it shows how I ended up here, how I got run over, all the detail, so detailed, it's unreal, of evidence, how I tried to get help and services, everything, you name it, I tried and got nowhere. And well, all this stuff's been going on for so long. Now finally my mates put it all down, and this very woman is now obviously working for one's area Kennett Council. She was a manager at the time in this place I got abused in, and in my area this company has monopoly on all care day centres, care homes, respite places, short stay places, sister living. There's no independence, and it's all state controlled by the same company. Please don't get me wrong, if they've changed their practices now, they've improved, it's something different now, well, I like to see that evidence. So when you're traumatised for years, how can you rebuild trust again? So I have not consented to deal with this previous They have a specialist team to anyone with that. I never did in the first place. Ever since I was disinformation by a social worker when I was first displaced at one, I won't say which place because I think that company's now closed. Then they displaced me up in a place where it's a 24-hour shutdown place if someone's got brain injury. Why I ended up in shore care, I do not know. And that's when I was trying to find, what's going on with the care package of this house in 21 to get me at my own, back home here, and the right package of care. And apparently they were dragging their feet. I had to get a lawyer, public law lawyer at the time, my sister in South UK at the time, all chasing to try and get me home. And they said there's nothing you can do. And one individual public servant said, that we know this place, it's a nice little place to have a rest for a couple of weeks. Well, I was lied to. It's actually a rehabilitation unit. And horrendous abuse and harm I had. So these texts I've got on here about all that, video evidence, and see if I can just show you one. There's quite a few. I'll just show you one. I can't explain how they didn't have OT equipment. My laptop got broken when I was there. It's going to 2012, so I'm just scrolling through. I'm just trying to find the one video at least. And how they did not have OT equipment in the room. Occupational therapy equipment is called, for your disability needs.
She forgot the drainage bag to put on.
I had personal needs.
Had to plus a twice this evening. And it's biological copy.
I can't show too much personal information on me because it's very sensitive. But I just got the videos on an old phone and the dates.
I'm not happy here. It's always 9:30, 10 o'clock.
That was a very, just basically pause that. It's the room. It was the no shelving, there's lots of things. They didn't even know how to care for me. They didn't know about my medical needs. They didn't have my medical evidence, how to care for me. It wasn't communicated properly. I find all this out years after, by the way. I can't change the past. This is where they kept leaving my wheelchair uncharged in the previous location I was at, and when you're in that place, you don't get the choice of hours when you'd like to go to bed, when you like to get up, and it is like an institutional environment. And don't know what it's like now. They broke my laptop. I can't balance that in yours as I used to. And you're literally got these, the whole setup in the room, it was different. I don't know if anyone else had a different type of rooms, but the one they put me in didn't have the aids I had at home. And it was extremely, extremely, extremely difficult, put it mildly. In my old house, I've got a picture of my own cats. I had to get rehomed. What happened at my old house and how things, I can't go into that publicly because it's too traumatizing. And where I got displaced to from that place to here eventually. And in a positive light, I found an old video of me and my mum and my son at the time visiting my mum. Got to check the date of that one. That was before things happened. Oh gosh. So my late mum did her best, and I can't thank her enough. And otherwise I can't mention publicly right now. Right, so on the 20th, on 20th of August 2009 is when I was able to get up and visit my mother, and that was a help with her sister dropping me off in the car to her flat, and I always treasure this. Won't show that right now because that's not related to this stream. Just trying to go back to the relevant dates, the current information. 12th of the 6th.
I'm not happy here.
Right. 2012, I mean. That's what I mean to say. 12th of the 6th, 2012. 9th of the 6th, 2012. I was in that place in East United Kingdom, Corby. I'm not trying to bring up the past, it's just what happened there. And ever since, what's happened in my home. Again, 12th of the 6th, I think I've just done that one. 9th of the 6th, 2012.
She forgot the drainage pipe.
When there was personal things, I have my medical disabilities attached to my bed. They didn't even have that set up right for me. And I'm just scrolling anything relevant. This goes back far to 2010. Right. I don't think that's relevant, so we're just gonna, I'm keeping the ones that's relevant. So I've got videos of me in hospital as well, evidence. The first time I ended up in hospital again, 2010, when I got, soon after got run over. And I've got evidence of that on this video. I've got all this video evidence. 6th of the 11th, 2010. Of being harmed in hospital. In NHS UK hospital. I won't go to that right now. 9th, 11th, 2011.
Right, I'm here, Richard. He's kindly visited me. Hello, Richard. Richard, you okay?
Evidence of this a former male friend I knew, 2011. It was odd how I bumped into that one. I got the evidence of that individual who went on to attack me in my home in 2012. Police refused to do anything. I got a video of him on this old phone. I found all this evidence. I was in a shock really with it all. This is a place where I got harmed in. There's a picture of the room in Corby in UK. This is on an old phone I only found yesterday. I didn't know I had the evidence, the photos, videos, text evidence of all the evidence I've been searching to hold the public servants accountable that harm me. None of my OT equipment was offered in this room. Unfortunately, there was no, the equipment they had on there, I mean, I can't even go into everything. What that date was, again, 13th of the 6th, 2012. 17th of the 6th, 2012. What's this one? Let's check the date on this one. And I've got to find out when I eventually got home. Now this is the 23rd of the 4th to the 12th, so bear with me. I don't know what the video length for this one. Yeah, right. I believe this is the period just before I ended up getting displaced from my home. Of that mail, I mentioned a coach share for data protection issues. I've got all this evidence of all these videos, recordings, text messages, everything evidence that these puppet servants, what they've done to me in their job role, they people, and all these years on. How am I meant to trust these people all these years on now? Trying to offer me services now. Now I've got a date video, 20th of 6th, 2012. Who has savings for this?
This is the Clapper's car, it's at John's car park.
Right, that's unrelated, so that one can go away. I just need to keep the evidence, because how do you hold these people accountable all this time on when they're still trying to push certain individuals onto me now? And recent emails, if I don't do such and such, then they will not offer me what's meant to be now national in the United Kingdom is the Care Act 2014, offer goods and services to disabled people. It's totally unlawful, intimidation, harassment, but I've got all this evidence to prove what's happened before. And who was involved, I've got the names, and I've got the public servants' names, I've got their mobile numbers, I've got their text messages, and basically, I can't go to the police with all this. You know, how they didn't do anything when I got harmed in my home before. They didn't do nothing when I reported the harm and what happened to me in my own before by public servants in 2013-14. And yet I put everything in evidence, writing, times, dates, everything, to all these key head of departments, CEOs, the lawyers, you know, public funded. I did everything and they still got nowhere. And then what we had around here was drug problem with needles. This video I won't show, but it's got needles. There was drug problems around the area of the flats. There's been nothing but problems around the area, and all I've tried to move on, to find a new place to live, to find a safe place to live, to find the right care I need, in line with my lawful rights, anyone's rights, in my position. And yeah, it's simply been blocked. I have not denied the lawful full disclosure of services that meets my needs. I can't believe this, that I offered this local hotel that's got level access shower for disabled people, meets my needs. I offered that they could fund the housing side, could fund that, so I could get the AT assessment done in there, and then they can assess me what my needs are there, because it's unsafe, national health and safety standards in my own home. The comments I get back from public servants, oh, it was unsafe for you, it's unsafe for your friends. Very patronising, very unprofessional, and breach of their statutory code in public office as well. And now I've found all this past history. So what the hell are you meant to do when you know you're not going to get anywhere again? The recent emails are threatening me. Threatening if I don't consent to invite my own home. How would they like it if it's in their home? If they were in my position, how would they like someone telling what to do? You know, threatening them. And when you're vulnerable, disabled, you're literally so unwell. And coming into your home and judging you in your home environment. I followed every single lawful due process since I ended up in hospital, a serious situation. I ended up calling them. I asked for help because my private friends were struggling. They never ever done anything to harm me. They'd done their utmost. And then I get treated now like this. with all my past evidence. So, unfortunately, it's re-traumatised. I'll give you one example of the Texas evidence. 15th of the 5th, 2012. Yes, housing 21, or are you going to support U2 post office? They will come at 1 p.m. Taxi will take you both. This is by social worker. Right. This is at the first care place I was in one's area. That's the first text. This is all the evidence I found of the abuse. Texts don't lie. Videos don't lie. Voice recordings don't lie. This is what I've got against Northamptonshire County Council for so long, and now they're after me to make me homeless next week. At 8 years being here, trying to hold them accountable for what's happened to me. And this is what they do. What, because Northamptonshire County Council has been all in the mainstream media cutting back to the bone of many services, not just services like people's meant to be accessed. Your national statute law rights, the Care Act 2014, all the sections, right, elements, is clear what meant to happen, and these public servants have a duty of care, have a lawful due process to follow. But this individual, the caseloads are so high, they are rushing decisions, they are looking at computer screens, they're breaching equality duty, your human rights. The list is endless. And so when my friend emailed the housing side, found a location, could be safe, could be up here where you could do the repairs, and this has been going on for over a year, 3 months, and a housing disrepair. No matter what I do, no matter what I counterclaim, offer, nothing is being offered. Nothing. So as the last email, I've got all this evidence and emails still for what's been going on the past 18 months and past year and 3 months on both areas, housing, adult care, and now I'm in the middle of another subject going on in a minute. Well, in a minute, I mean another subject another day. But fact is, I can't change the past, what's happened, but the point is, I do not consent to deal with the same people. So, here we go. 15th of May it started, my displacement from my home unlawfully. I'll pass for a text. Justice spoke to 2 assessors. They will be with you, correction, 2 assessors. They said, we will come to you at that first displacement. I found out when I got there, I was not informed what time by the social worker, and I was on my own. They should appoint an independent advocate. I didn't have nobody, and nobody at the care home, and it's mainly for old people, and I was in a room that wasn't big enough for my wheelchair. There's none of my medical equipment I needed, no hoist, nothing, and I was at risk, seriously, and I didn't consent to any morning call, and I got this text when it started happening. 15th of May 2012, and it started getting, again, this is a lot. 2 assessors, what they mean is occupation therapists. I had no advocacy, I had no independent of these public servants. I had no independent. They come and rush me, and there was 3 of them turned up to assess my body, me, on my own. I didn't even know these people. I didn't consent to that. It all come out the blue. There's no discussion with me. All these numbers and emails and texts I've got evidence of still. And then 14th of May 2012, a carer is outside. You need to let them in. What carer, and what was that about? How am I meant to let them in when I can't bloody walk? I don't know what that was about. 11th of May 2018. I tried to call you but could not get hold of you. I have not been able to arrange, here we go, suitable respite for Monday as of yet, and Housing 21 have agreed to call at 10:30 AM on Monday to assist you, but cannot help with transfers. They can support you to go to the bank. Well, how can I get out of bed when I need hoisting and care? Then goes on to says, we will be in touch on Monday. I had nobody to come and help me out of bed. Is this what they call care in the modern so-called United Kingdom, and people in their own homes as well? This is when it started getting bad from my own home into the care system, displaced then, you see. And I found all these texts and all these emails and who they're all from. 11th of May 2012. The lady who we're trying to arrange to visit you today is unable to attend. Therefore, we need to discuss, here we go, other care options with a respite and maybe rehabilitation, rehab. Can I call you? And this is a very female who in 2013 tried to reassess me by the company. They pushed on me from this final care placement that I did not consent ever to be. I can't believe I got her text and I got emails still. And so when I reported everything, what happened, who harmed me, the dates, and this is another text, 11th of May 2012. So I didn't know I had this phone, and I didn't know I had all these texts until yesterday night. So in 2013, when they tried to push this review on me by this care company and their department of cares in my home, and who abused me in my home, and I reported the abuse to the police, to the county council, to the adult care. It's physical, verbal. I was dropped off a hoist. I was burnt to the body. And I've got all the evidence I found who was involved. And do I now go to the police for this? Will they do anything? Will they use my disabilities against me? Will they misread these texts and the video evidence I've got of the harm, the alarm, the distress, the abuse? I can't even put it into words. Are they going to get their just reward what's happened to me? So that very female now is a management level in my area. From 2012 now 2018, 8 years on. She was then a principal care manager. I bet she is now one of the directors behind the scenes, unless she's left a job. And she was the one in 2013 wanted to assess me, and she set me up. She ran after me in the public street. I didn't consent to this particular care company. They pushed on me from that place I was at in Corby. And what they're trying to do with these occupation therapy, 2 females now, are working for the same company. That social worker tried to push onto me recently, the same people that harmed me before in that Pine Lodge place, and I didn't consent to that. And all these reasons why, all these months, all these meetings I've had while I've been so ill with a social worker, a care advocate, I put it all on the, you're meant to have these questions they have, choices and outcomes. I made it clear what I require this time to move forward for people to work with me in my lawful rights. It's all in statute law for disabled people, what your rights are. And it's being abused by me, well, to me anyway. So I found this evidence. And the former department was called Youngest of Adults Team. So in August 2011, I had my former complaint upheld by a maladministration of the former county council care management then. And ever since then, worse has happened, and that's what I've been trying to get uphold. And They cover themselves. All these current public servants in their job role, they cover their backs. The complaint system don't work. Well, I don't know if it works for anyone else, but they don't do, don't uphold it for me. They're using my disabilities against me. They're ignoring everything. And now what they want to do is force, unlawfully force their will upon me, unlawfully. And I've always worked openly, because one minute I'm getting all this assessment and the correct procedures meant to be followed, and next minute, within 5 weeks, oh, we have OTs, occupational therapists are called, to assess me. Not one time do they mention it would be done in my home. It needs to be done in my own home. And especially where it's unsafe and unrepaired. And my concerns are about not just my safety, but anyone visitor to my home in my private dwelling. And that was made clear a long time ago. And the evidence for that. And that's why the offer was to get the housing employees head office to pay for that at least 1 week, as long as what I need to be there for, so they can do the repairs. Logically, you would have thought they'd pay for that. No, stopped, refused, unless I have this OT assessment first. Does anyone else call that blackmailing? Is that a harsh word to use? You don't. Nobody treats me like that. I'm sorry. You just do not. After everything I've gone through. And I have been, it's like here, there's another text going back at 9:33 in the morning. 10th of May 2012. Hope you're okay. Well, I'm not. I was stuck in an unlawful position. I just want to check that you're okay for me to make a referral to OT and for a new assessment. Well, this is what's being tried to offer now. I was misled about referral to an assessment now, 2018, on the 31st of 8, 2018. Since June 2018, all these months and weeks, and correspondence and emails, nothing was said that I needed an OT assessment in my own. And what for? I found out recently it's mainly for the housing company, nothing about me. My medical equipment needs have not changed. The only thing that's changed is a weakness in my right side. That's all on the transfers. That's all. And that's all the last correspondence and communication was about. Nothing else. And if I'd known this housing company, key individuals, was about just wants an occupational therapy assessment for their purposes, not mine, and then claim to use them and to go into the UK housing system to claim, oh, she needs to be rehomed. Well, I'm reading all this statutory documentation, and watching it at least, and my friends help, and it's clear. On the housing outcomes, I already made it clear there's a lawful choice that meet my needs, practically moving forward, and safely as a secure tenure. If you're not going to pay for temporary housing or temporary accommodation or temporary hotel location of my choice, and that will meet my needs, now what? Yeah? They're the ones that subjected, not me. Do I have to go to UK court system when I'm so damn ill? Yeah? Where do I get the funds for that? Nobody is held accountable. So, where's my family, you might say, in all this? Well, I'd like to know where my bloody adult son is. I'd like to know where the kind support of my adult daughter is. Nowhere. Where's my own DNA family since the death of my mum's gone? Well, I'd like to know about that too. No one's contacted me. It's like I'm meant to disappear into their state system again. I have not an issue with the lawful offer goods and services. It needs to be done honourably, lawfully, full disclosure. Yeah? Not be lied to, not be just mistreated, and not to be re-traumatised again. All of this evidence proves what's happened. But yet nobody is. How do you put in an email to statutory law, local government, ombudsman, health and social care that you got all the old evidence still? Right? You're re-traumatised still again. because they're pushing the same people on, they're pushing the same service onto an individual. How do you ever get over this? And I'm finding a way, trying to, for the sake of my mum. I can't believe all this evidence I found. So with the care system, it's very complex. And I've got all these previous social workers involved, their details, the phone numbers, the texts. But they're now answerable to who? Because of the cutbacks all over the mainstream media in my area is huge. So I've had so much. Just going to any relevant sent email or sent text. 14th of the 6th, 2012. There's an email evidence. I was trying to get my lawful rights upheld then, and still all these years on. 2012 and now 2018, what the hell's going on with the system? I am contacted by text and no correct care plan. Still, in 2000, so years before and to that date, and since, up until 2013, I had not one lawful care plan. It was reprinted computerized care plans, that's all they ever did, and nothing included the agreed respite, the agreed cleaning time, the extra time I needed for your personal needs. And it's worse now with the cutbacks. So the statutory law, what it's meant to be now for UK, for people like me, well, it's not working. This is the evidence of the texts what happened. And who was involved before? Nobody got my consent. And their management team, the abuse, I mean, I detailed the abuse, what was happening then by the carers and the company who's involved. I got this evidence in a text even then. And that was in the previous location, Pine Lodge, who was involved. That's in Northants area. And get me home, as I'm being inquiring, where is the previous housing company that was going to housing 21 carers to take over, you see, at my home. And no one said of any times, and I made it clear that I'm not being hoisted and not having my care needs met, and I'm left without any carers or support. This text detailed all the abuse that went on, and I have no remedy, no help. And it's only for the help of my late sister, I mean, she's still around, but my sister at the time, and a lawyer at the time, who fought tooth and nail to get me home. And ever since then, that's when they started ramping up in my own home by the same company that runs that Pine Lodge, and i.e. employees. I can't even, the management level is the same. I can't even put it into words. Because by the time 2014 came, I had to protect my life. I had to protect my body. I had to protect me getting harmed. And I've been seeking a lawful budget that I can choose my own care company. I didn't consent to be, I made it quite clear here, 12th of June 2012. To a social worker, I woke up, date, I've not consent to remain at this location, that former location there. As you know, my choice of care is not being met. Why did you say is placed are meant to be safe and will not be any assessments, i.e. OT and a physio, and a male did, and you know of this, as will you make sure this individual, I mentioned female's name here, acts on my requirement, and later in the evening call as to it's too long to wait to have the use of a toilet. Even my basic human rights to use a toilet with the hoisting and the knees I had. And I'm going home today. This is when I had all the lawyers involved. Well, the law company, and my sister involved. This is the date of she was informed. And I now find, all these years on, she's now left the job and she's moved abroad. And she's got away from Netherlands. 12th of June 2012. So that's all the evidence, basically, and some of it's written down. And all this time, I know what I'm trying to do is move forward. So, all these other stuff, videos, what's been going on. Be extremely careful when they offer assisted living. Short breaks, you need everything up front, information, nothing rushed. Unfortunately, when you end up in hospital, I'm looking at dates here, 2008, 2009, 2012, 2010, 2011, 2013, 2014. How many years is this? And then there was a free period of 3 years. My friends took over and been doing the utmost and brilliantly till the housing disrepair started. So, including end of last year, July last year up to date, it's 10 years. 10 years of the state system. And I'm not saying everyone that works in the industry have been like this way to me. Unfortunately, the ones I have been dealing with are and have. And I've got the evidence. So you public servants want to hold me accountable. For what? I haven't done nothing. I'm the one that's surviving, trying to. I'm the one that sought full support of forgiveness services. Back on, I end up getting hospital. It's caught live streamed online. My daughter-in-law. The evidence is there. The black and white evidence is online. Just read up and research. Why are the focus on adult safeguarding instead of what your choices and outcomes in statutory law? Please don't get me wrong. When there's an adult safeguarding concern, needs to monitor your safety, yes. But that outweighs your rights. They're meant to get your consent for things. I have not consented for certain things because of what's happened before. And because of health and safety. And you would have thought, logically, the statutory law states they're meant to work with your choices and outcomes. And the choice is not in my home right now because the housing just repair. They're not repairing it. So I'm not going to take liability on someone else's personal safety in my home. They touch this wall that's not repaired because the housing cannot be bothered to contract the company to just repair the wall, for example. The men and the women, and there's that third-party contract company for housing, National Housing Company, Home Group Limited, check it out. See what other people are saying about it. See about the repair side of it. So, this is not just about me, it's a bigger picture. What's the bigger agenda? What they're doing to disabled people. Bad enough they're cutting other subjects that's going on. The targeting of me is deliberate. In a way, they are not upholding the lawful due process. But also, I don't want to get bogged down with all this. I just want to move forward. That's what I try to do. It's been hard to forgive those that's harmed me. That's what I try to do. it's been extremely difficult. You know, of a Christian mind and nature now, since the death of my mum, I have been trying to change. But how can you when the same people are working with the same companies still? That's a risk of being harmed again. So where's the reassurance it's not going to happen again? So, while I'm in this physical body, and the messed up world the way it is, I'm going to do my best to ride this out. And I'm making this stream public. And if it happens to me, you know why. Because I've got evidence or first-hand knowledge of all the abuse that I've sustained at the hands of these public-funded employees. And they've covered it up to such an extent to blame me that my post-traumatic stress disorder for the attempt of my life I had in 2002, but penalising me for trauma. It's no fault of my own, these crimes I sustained. And now they're labelling me that I'm making everything up. But you can't make everything up, can you? When you've got emails, when you've got texts, when you've got video, when you've got recordings. You can't make that up. So, I'm not going to hang on about it. I mean, I've still got the evidence. So, the timeline is I think it's gone to bring a remedy for personal injury. Malpractice, or was it something in what I said earlier, something to do with public office responsibility. Can't remember right now. But there's various disability formats, websites, all sorts out there to research yourself, find out what the lawful rights are, what one's national. I don't know what it's like in different parts of the world, but I just know what it's meant to be in UK. And if there was a correct procedure all along, I should have had an OT assessment first. Then why was that not made clear from the start in an email correspondence before I got so ill? And before the deterioration in my home got worse. And so now I'm recovering there behind and realising I made a mistake. And that's why now they're coming hard back on me. No man or woman has authority over another. The implied consent by the state. The state is really the ordinary members of the public paying towards their taxes for goods and services, but why? When they're cutting it to the bone. And whether it's adult health social care, NHS, or what. Then housing. Then I can't quote any subjects right now, not in that. So yeah, take one thing at a time and trying to forgive those that transgress against me. But the thing is, my older brother, half brother, my mum relied on, was always there for her behind the scenes. So when she ended up these different placements, she didn't get half the things because she was still able to move. She wasn't in the physical body sense as I. She didn't get run over. It was her age that started giving in. And so when she had falls, right, she was part of this particular family religion I'm from, right? And knock it, it's up to them what they want to do in their religion. But to use my own adult family members, my own son and daughter, my grandchildren, is absolutely just so sick and cruel to turn them against me for something I haven't done nothing to them. just because I'm a disabled mum. That's cruel. I've just concentrated on me now and trying to move forward. And if I did have my own family that cared, I wouldn't have been left like this. They would have pulled together to get the floor, repaired and then recharged to the housing company per se. And then things might have been slightly different. Things would still be difficult, but I'll still be trying to source the right way out. You know, the right way forward and secure tender that I'd have. They want me to lose my secure tender, you say. Well, this recent email, if it's legit by the housing employee, and I know what she's been doing before, she's not that experienced in what she's doing, and certain things I won't make public about. Put it this way, an email, it was again making the violations, victimisations, the content of the wording of these emails was definitely implying the authoritarian tone, blackmailing words and such, and like extremely abuse of healthcare professional in their job capacity roles, and employee contracted in their terms and conditions by this area, public sector side, goods and services in their key departments. If there was a genuine offer to support me and help people like me when I end up in hospital, why didn't the discharge team and that social worker offer me the goods and services referrals then? So, as it didn't happen, and there's now all this evidence on these texts, videos, and voice messages. Let's check the voice messages. Just amazing when you're going to look for well, we don't go look for it, you just find the information by chance. Recordings. Going back to 2010 one.
The guy home group is going around looking around the grass there.
It's not relevant. Delete that one.
Fourth of the second 2010, sent in St John's Court. And they tried to get in and tell me to drink my out again.
So there was when there's unfortunate situations around this area. 2010. Got a recording here. When there was unfortunately homeless people down on their luck, they tried to break in my home, and there was evidence of things happening around here.
7:30 in the morning on the room, the nurse wanted to come wash me. 7:30 in the morning, and that they were I would sort of come after 8 o'clock. About to take about 4 or 5
This is when I ended up in hospital, and 2011, for example, and check the details, and that was 7:30 a.m. 16th of the 2nd 2011, when I was in hospital setting, and there was people who didn't even know how to care for me in hospital then. When I got displaced previously from my old house years ago, 14th of 6th 2009, before I moved here, I was just placed at this bed and breakfast place, and I've got a recording of what happened there. I won't go into that right now. I just got recording individuals, what happened in that location.
12 o'clock on the 6th Saturday. The sister from yesterday's internet making me go back on the main night ward again.
Right, I was on a nightly ward on the 6th of the 11th, 2010. So I've got a record of recordings, and good job I've kept these. So what happened on the 1st of July 2009? Bear with me.
And social worker Commander at Camp House.
Right, this is when the trauma affected me of my old house, what happened, and how the police and housing and social workers then said, I need to be a safe place. I won't go into everything what happened at my old house, but that's when I was displaced in the emergency accommodation. I was able to walk, but I was on crutch then. I had other unseen disabilities. And got a recording where July 2009 I was meant to be helped with trauma effect in my life, and while I was in this temporary accommodation I couldn't actually get up easily to these places or NHS buildings, and it's worse now since I'm reducing my health now. So all I've been trying to do is work with people in their job role lawfully and honourably. All this time to move on, not to stick on the past. It might sound like it, but it's not. So why can't people just do their jobs lawfully and honourably and treat disabled people? Not everybody's like this, please don't get me wrong. But the key ones I've got evidence of have got away with it.
12 o'clock on the 6th Saturday.
I've got recordings here, I've got videos. It's just horrendous. And why happen all? It's all like coming back to haunt me now. It's all happening again in a different way.
I have another attachment for staff. I respected her staff and thanks for the family giving me this, but none of the Mormon family that Mormon.
Well, I was thinking 2009 to join my family's religion, and because they were kind to me, they showed me kindness in 2009. What happened to my old home and my mum, and I really appreciated that. And by the end of that year, when I got one over, I ended up moving here, and then I get one over, and ended up in a wheelchair by 2010. So it's all bad luck, you could say. But we're put on this world for a reason. Spiritually, I do believe in that now, and it's just my experience to be in that situation now, to try and deal with very tough times that thousands of people around the world, and perhaps worse off than I, and the United Kingdom. All I'm trying to say is that treat me lawfully, treat me right, treat me with dignity, treat me with respect. You treat me right, I'll treat you right. It works both ways. My mum taught me that. I got no time to grieve. I've got no time to be ill. I've got no time to breathe. I've got no time to live. Is that the kind of world anybody else wants to live in? In 2018 plus, do we all want to be a tick box in a computer program exercise? So you might say, despite the evidence I have, what's the point? The point is being, there's a history, there's factual, I've been vindicated, I have evidence. Now do your bloody job, you public servants. In your job role, you know who you are if you play this back. I've been honourable all my bloody life, tried my best. Don't ever, ever try and dominate me. You work openly and honestly with me and you'll get the result. When you come up and try to push my back against the wall and you breach your lawful due process, you will not get anywhere. And then you will use, oh, I'm protected because I work for the state system. Well, fair do. If you do that, you get away with it as you already have, then I know one day It's all going to come back and bite you. And God forbid if you or your relatives or loved ones ever end up in my situation and you're relying on the state yourself later on. Because then you only know then what it's like for people like me. And I'm just one voice with limited ability, what I can do. So I have been always honest, always up front, the best I can. And so what? Comments I get, I can't read your emails, I can't this, I can't that. The cutbacks means these men and women on the frontline services are getting it in the neck. They're getting the demands. They're getting the pressures from those they work above them. And they won't admit, because they need to keep their jobs. They want to portray to be professional. But it's not just this subject. There's many others out there that you know what you're going through. So it's all about all the members of the public, isn't it? To raise awareness. I don't know if anything's going to change. I don't know. I mean, it's digital age now, the technology. I'm not against anyone per se, but you do not harm my body. You do not verbally abuse. You do not threaten me in my personal space of my life. You do not come into my private dwelling unlawfully and breach my fundamental God human rights, given human rights, right to privacy, right to life. I've always been open and tried to work with people honourably, but I will not be disfaced. I will not have a character assassination. I will not be the target of whatever sick agenda the system out there's got to people. And whether this is happening more, less voices are able to speak out, I want better care. There's social media outlets about that, websites. If they paid the right rate to these men and women in their job roles, would their abuse go on in care homes as well? Would it end? You know? So the outcomes in statute law does not mean nothing. It all does not mean nothing if the process from the word go is not working. And it is lawful due process. The correct procedure is to at least assess the individual if you meet the criteria or not. And even the better NHS Care Fund, NHS England as well. Yeah, medical need, nursing need, perhaps. All of this behind the scenes working in all their computer programs and software. People are slipping through the net. Your lawful rights are being, well, especially mine, but your lawful rights, anyone in my position, you might be damn lucky. You might be damn lucky, and then it might be a postcode lottery, but these areas are first in the United Kingdom to crash the system so badly. That is putting up with all of this. And there's a very good video I came across a long time ago. Somebody's got other types of disabilities. She's put post-its how I would like carers to treat me. Smile, talk to me, ask how I am. You know, human contact, human nature, human kindness. What's happened to that? What's happened to human contact? Friendship. You know, alright, you're in a professional role, but what's happened to that humane friendship? Not like a Jack and Hyde character, 1 minute friendly, next minute you're all very distant and very non-professional, and then expect to put me at risk. There's so much that's gone on, and I'm not going to try and dwell on that at all. But if you're pushing the boat in my corner, you're pushing it into my corner now. Onus on to me, and it's your job, your public servant's role job. The public's paying for your wages to offer the correct or dutiful process. So it doesn't matter what is in email and what my private life friend's trying to assist me with, that's still rejected, is it? Yeah? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with these employees in social housing? They care about their jobs more than the individuals that are paying their wages out of their rent. What's wrong with the housing system? Then you get the DWP, system, and I'm going through that. My mate hasn't opened my letter for me yet to save the distress that's going to happen on me. You know, all of these things, the United Kingdom, the reality is not just one subject like this today. It's all when you're disabled, right? I mean, ill, pardon, health. There's a combination of it all, and just to get that right. So, all these months, all these times I've been ill, the death of my mum, the grieving, where's the help? Where's the support? Nothing, apart from my private life friends and those that know of me online, and they know of me for years what I'm normally like and have been like. So, to put the extra pressure on me, it's unlawful, and I won't tolerate it. So you want to come anywhere near me and offer goods and services? Well, unfortunately, my friend's done their best to make it clear to you guys out there, you men and women out there in their job role, reason why this flat is left the way it is, housing disrepair, is because both people neglect the duty of caring that side. And that's already been proven, and that is first-hand knowledge. So there was a concern for my personal well-being. They call this a statute law for anyone in my position. They would have said something as soon as I met up with somebody and I was fit and able to in my best way I could in May, June 2018. Oh, we might think you need an OT assessment, or you might be concerned about your concern of safety in your home. Nothing was raised, no correspondence or emails. Gotta go, time getting on. So, this is just one evidence. Unfortunately. But it's not just, I don't think it's just this. Because you got there now reduction on the public services in other areas too. And my mate's got a newspaper with an article the other day of the winter, of the snow and the gritting areas, and what areas are going to cut back on that. Common sense says, why raise the public purse? And the battery's low, and thank you for listening, Princess Warrior. Thank you for your prayers and thoughts. I know we will survive. I will find a way somehow. And it's a learning curve, this life, and it's difficult. It wasn't easy. And like my mum's taught me, she gave me some strength, and I need to find the extra strength from somewhere at the moment. But God be with you, whatever your beliefs, whatever you're also going through. I have no ill will, because I know those that harm me will have to answer to their own maker one day. And if I don't get a remedy, obviously, with the system as it is, still, these are going to have to answer to their maker one day. And that's all I have to say right now. So, I'm really not here to offend anyone personally. The state system is not here to help us. And I am been trying my utmost. If I had my physical health, I would not be reliant on nobody. Okay? My mum taught me self-reliance years ago. Can't pan out what your life's going to turn out. God bless you. Please keep safe out there.